I will accompany you to Mount Baromises.
I had hoped you'd say yes. I'm glad.
My heart is not set. I still have questions. I hope to find answers along the way.
I had other reason to invite you. There is someone I'd like you to meet, waiting on Baromises.
Who is that?
An enemy, and an ally also. You will just have to wait and see for yourself.
That Larsa likes his secrets.
He does not mean ill by it.
He's not bad. At least for an Imperial.
Holy Mount Baromises stands at the northern end of the Jagd Remuda. Once we're in Jagd, we need not fear pursuit by their airships.
Don't get your hopes up. You remember the Leviathan sailed straight over the XII, right up to Wraithel's tomb. Skystone that works even in Jagd. You know, Nethersight's behind it. Little wonder they're so keen on the stuff.
And what is it you're after, Balthier? You're a welcome hand and a great aid, but why?
Worried I'm out to steal the Nethersight, eh? Can't say I'm unaccustomed to people doubting my intentions. Nothing could be further from my mind. Shall I swear by your sword or some such?
Apologies, but I needed to know where you stand. Her Majesty depends on you, and you seem to have an interest in the stone.
I'm only here to see how the story unfolds. Any self-respecting leading man would do the same.
Okay. The Gareth were not able to really give us the answers that we want. That's an unfortunate thing. But they were able to give us some information, and it sort of derailed our plans completely. Things are not really what we had expected them to be, or at least hoped them to be. So we have to basically move on and make the best of what we have. Now, in the process of this, we came into contact with Larsa, who offered an alternative to our plans, that unfortunately Ashe has decided that, at least appears to have decided that she's willing to take Larsa up on the offer. Now the problem with the Gareth was that we had brought the Nethersight piece, the Dawn Shard, with us in order to try to determine if this is something that we can use in our war against the Empire. Now, the Dawn Shard is a piece of deifacted Nethersight, an extraordinarily powerful piece of magicite that the gods had gone and originally bestowed to the Gareth, but the Gareth couldn't figure out how to use it, which is an explanation of why they couldn't give us any useful information. But then it was taken away from the Gareth and given to King Wraithrall, the original Dynast King. We eventually split it up and put it in those various locations, gave 2 of them to people, kept one for himself, kept in his tomb, blah blah blah. No one really cares about that right now. The problem was that the Nethersight, being any piece of magicite which draws its magic from the mist, the magical energies that are all around the world, that much magic being stored in one place unfortunately can get depleted, and it was in the case of the Dawn Shard. Despite the fact that the Dawn Shard was a very useful, a very powerful piece of magicite, its energies have been expended in that explosion aboard the Dreadnought Leviathan. The Dawn Shard itself survived the explosion, but its magical energies have been all but completely depleted. So even if we could find out how to use it, Ashe doesn't know, the Gareth don't know how to use it. It really wouldn't do us a whole lot of good because, well, the energies are depleted. So that puts us into this horrible situation of our ace in the hole, our piece of nethicite that we're going to use is completely useless to us. It'll only be after maybe hundreds of years will this thing be any use to anyone. So, of course, we have to start seeking alternatives. And that's where Lars's offer has come up. Larsa met us. Larsa was asking about the nethicite as well. I'm guessing he wanted to learn about its powers as part of a fact-finding mission for the Empire. But he has certain things. I mean, he's definitely loyal to his empire because he's a member of the ruling family there. But he's a much more practically minded individual. He doesn't want war, and he definitely doesn't want war with Arcadia. Well, not with Arcadia, he's part of Arcadia, with Rosaria. He doesn't want a war with Dalmascia, and he especially doesn't want a war with Rosaria. So his offer, or his advice at least, was to travel to this Mount Baramises in order to have Ashe go and reclaim her throne as the, I guess, Queen of Dalmascia. Now, the reason why Larsa wants to do this is because the Marquis Arndor of Berjuba is gone underground, and it's well known within the Empire that his sympathies with the countries that Arcadia has invaded are quite strong. And he has gone underground in order to go and recruit a resistance movement to go and confront Arcadia and drive them out of Dalmascia, out of the other country I'm not remembering the name of. Give me credit here, come on. And also, in doing this, he'd be securing a future for Berjuba because, I mean, even though Arcadia holds a pretty strong relationship with Berjuba, it seems to be only a matter of convenience. And they're only not invaded Berjuba so far is because they're cooperative. But the moment that doesn't seem like the case, Arcadia is eventually going to invade Berjuba anyway in order to gain access to its resources. He needs to take Arcadia down a peg. And that's what the point of this fight against Arcadia is, benefiting him. Now Larsa says that is a bad idea. In the event that they try resisting Arcadia, Arcadia will respond, and they will respond in force. Now, keep in mind, Dalmascia tried fighting off Arcadia before. They tried fighting off Arcadia during the war, and they lost. They lost because Arcadia is a lot more powerful than they are. And even with their military at full strength, Dalmascia couldn't fight off Arcadia. Berjuba can't fight off Arcadia. Just like everybody else. I mean, nobody except for Rosaria really has the military might to take on Arcadia. So that's where we have the problem. This resistance movement, in combination with the destruction of the Dreadnought Leviathan and the entire fleet it was moving with, has weakened Arcadia noticeably. I don't know how significantly. We don't know how many ships they really have, how much military might they have in their aerial navy. But Arcadia has been weakened, and Rosaria would have been fools not to notice this, and be fools not to be considering this as a reasonable opportunity to take out Arcadia for good. Now, in the event that Dalmascia rises up against Arcadia, it'll be an even greater sign that the destruction of Arcadia is a possibility at the hands of Rosaria. So, in order to prevent that, Larsa has gone and tried to get Ashe here to go and say, you need to back down, you need to make peace, because in the event the Arcadia attacks, they're going to attack the closest target they can find, and in order to get to Arcadia, Rosaria has to go across the land for the most part, and the first point that they're going to make contact is at Dalmascia, and there will be a battle at Rabanastre, the Dalmascan capital city. And that would be disastrous, especially if the Arcadian Empire, decides to use the power of Nethicite. Even if they don't know how to properly use it, they have at least one piece of Death-active Nethicite that still has its mist energies intact. And that is more than enough. Would you go to war with a country that had one nuke and the gall to use it? Something horrible would happen, and you know it.
I guess this one was a success.
Wow, I'm impressed, Vaughn.
I got a good feeling.
An alliance between Dalmascia and the Empire.
Reason tells me 'tis the only course. We must avoid a wasting war with the Empire at all cost. Yet I fear I could not bear the shame, had I but the strength.
A shame perhaps for me and for you. But for Dalmascia it is hope.
And you can just accept this, can you?
After Vane's ruse, I had abandoned hope for honor. Yet, never did I forget my knightly vows. If I could protect but one person from war's horror, then I would bear any shame. I would bear it proudly. I could not defend my home. What is shame to me?
My people hate the Empire. They will not accept this.
There is hope.
Right?
Don't encourage
Hope for a
them.
future where we
I'm
can
not
join
that bad,
hands
am
I got
as
a good
brothers.
feeling.
Larsa, please. This is serious.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be Larsa. Somebody's got to put him in his place.